Alright, well, as per request, I've been asked to do a review on Third Hack G.U Volume 3 Redemption. So, let's get started. Okay, to start off, I am a big fan of the series, as you could probably tell from my last response, and given the situation, I really had to take this request right away. I really appreciate you guys giving me this chance, and anybody who's watched the video can probably voice their opinions for themselves. Like I said in the sort of side intro, if you want to make any requests, if I know the game, have played the game, or own the game, I will probably do a review on it sometime in the future. Anyway, Third Hack G.U. The final chapter of a very, very impressive series. Third Hack G.U Redemption concludes a very impressive storyline. First off, graphics and gameplay. Those are the first two things you actually notice when you started playing the game. It's sort of sped up, but in turn sort of revolutionized as far as the gameplay goes. It adds new effects and sort of new style to the gameplay, but you don't notice these changes until you're actually sort of halfway through the game. I don't want to spoil it for anybody. Okay, screw it. Eventually, when you get to about halfway through the game, you get a change, and sort of the game gets a mass upgrade, which is a definite improvement. Graphics-wise, it pretty much stays the same, but they're a lot more fluid, obviously, with new effects. Now, moving on to two more sections that I like to cover: storyline and characters. Characters are perhaps the biggest section in this sort of game. The characters are all well thought out. Hiseo, Adelie, they all cover different aspects of human nature. We have sort of Hiseo, who in this more or less represents the sort of revenge. For the first two, you notice this, but eventually it comes to the point where he starts to develop more as a person as he experiences his events with the avatars. There's Adelie, the sort of shy, quiet, not very self-esteem filled individual. She's very calm. There's Kun, of course, the flirtatious individual. There's one at least every RPG I have ever played. There's Pi. Anyways, I'm rambling on. Pretty much, as far as storyline goes, it makes a lot of connections to the original series. I have not played, but I have read up a lot on it. It makes connections to old characters, such as Yada, making the connection to his old infection character, Wise Man. It brings about the reenactment of Kubia, which was a real surprise. I did not see that coming. And it also finally brings around the sort of legend or lore of the 8 phases, or the epitaphs, which are commonly referred to the avatars in G.U. Also, it brings back the concept of the Key of the Twilight, which takes a interesting twist on it, sort of providing the Key of the Twilight not as an item, but as a person, which turns out to be Hiseo, which actually kind of caught me off guard. I know I've said that a couple of times, but that's beside the point. Either way, Third Hack G.U. Great game, great pickup. The gameplay has been solid throughout the entire series. It doesn't really stray far from the same path, only admitting the slightest changes. But these slight changes make a bit of difference, or either a lot of difference. I've noticed that the changes to Hiseo's avatar in the second issue really sort of brought it up to speed. Another one was the change of attack styles and the addition of and in the third one, the addition of the X form, which gives you sort of a distance attack and allows you to really chain together yourself. Either way, I'm rambling again. It really brings together a lot of old connections to the old series. It brings back the connection between Aura and the three heroes, Azure Kite, Azure Orca, and Azure Balmung. It brings back the connection to Wise Man and Yada, sort of connects with the Key of the Twilight, and for that, props to Bandai Namco. I give you that. So for this review, I would pretty much have to put out a 9.5 out of 10. It really brings together the storyline, sort of wraps it all up in a very, very satisfying way. You saw this coming, but you didn't. The soundtrack sounds amazing. As always, throughout the entire series, voice acting and FMVs have been tremendous. Definitely 9.5 out of 10. The only reason it's not a perfect 10 in my books is that there were some confusing areas. There are some things I didn't pick up on. I don't know if it's just me, but 9.5 out of 10, I'd say that's fair. Very great game. Pick it up if you can. It's definitely worth owning. That's all I have to say. Anyways, this is Trevor. This is Trevor's second review on Third Hack G.U. Volume 3 Redemption. I'm hoping to hear any comments or requests coming through, and I hope to hear from you guys again soon. Over and out.